Yo, 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 what's up, everybody? It's your boy Isaac,
And this is your boy Bryce.
and we are brothers on tennis. And folks, we are in the month of February, and there is a ton of tennis going on. Bryce, Lord. I mean, folks is out there trying to get their play on. They are trying to get ready for the Sunshine Double. It is hot and popping, sir. How have you been enjoying all of this tennis?
You know what? I've kind of been ramping back up into it slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I feel like we haven't done one of these shows in quite a while.
It's been
You
a
know,
minute.
it's been a minute, right? I think we were so exhausted from the Australian Open that we were like, okay, we need a minute. Uh, but no, it there's some exciting things going on, and there are just a lot of stories I think going on in the professional tennis world right now,
Yes.
and I can't wait to watch all of them play out this year. So I know tonight we're going to kind of cover the tournaments that happened the week of February the 7th, and then we'll hit the tournaments that were played last week, the week of the 14th, and
Right.
we'll give a bit of a preview for the tournaments, the five tournaments that are going on this week.
I know, right? It's just loads and loads of tennis, y'all. So buckle up and get ready.
Right.
All right. So, how would you like to start, my friend?
Ah, do you want to do each week men and women, or do you just want to do all the women then all the men?
Um, let's do it all the women and then all the men, and then we can kind of review what's going on this week. How about
That
that?
sound that sounds good. And listeners, the reason why we were kind of splitting it like that, um, and I don't know if this is a difference between the men's and the women's tour, but over the last 2 weeks, there have been what, seven men's
Yes.
tournaments
Yes.
and two women's
Two.
tournaments.
Now
So
they've been 500s. They've been 500s
they
for the
have been.
ladies. So that's good. Whereas the guys have had a good number of 250s thrown in there, but still, seven versus two is a pretty big difference.
And you know what? And I just want to bring this up. I hate to just at the beginning of the show, take us on a completely different tangent. But I was reading an article the other day, and it was stating that I guess the marketing arm of the men's and the women's tour have been, I don't know, they've been kind of fooling people a little bit as it relates to the equity and pay.
Hmm.
They like to say a lot of times that, oh, tennis is a great example of where they have equal pay for the
Hmm.
men and the women. Well, this article I was reading really broke it down and said, honestly, there's only like seven tournaments in the year where the men and the women have equal pay. And
Wow.
they said if you look at the rest of them, that there's a huge disparity between
Hmm.
what the men
Hmm.
make and what the women make.
Right.
So they said, anybody that's out there thinking like, oh, just across the board, the women and the men make the same thing. No, outside of the Grand Slams, the four majors and three other tournaments,
That's about it, huh?
that's it. So I
Yeah.
just thought that was very interesting, and I wanted to call that out because I know I was a little more. I mean, I knew they weren't equal everywhere, but I thought it was more than seven tournaments.
I did as well. I did as well. And I think that because it's like the Grand Slams, that's of course where the biggest purses are. So I
Right.
guess that's why, you hear that, oh, there's equity across the board, when in fact that's not really completely true. So like you were saying, there is definitely more work that can and should be done for equal pay across the board throughout the entire tour and calendar season. So I'm
Right.
with you, brother.
Because one of the tournaments we're going to talk about is the tournament last week in Dubai.
Hmm.
And we know that uh, I think, isn't Dubai a I think the pay is very different there in Dubai between what the women make and what the men make.
Oh, Okay. Yeah.
And I
I am
think,
not 100% sure. Yeah, but I'm with you though. It wouldn't surprise me, put it that way. They got a
right,
lot of things from that perspective that that need to be potentially addressed, but we won't
right.
go there.
So, right. So come on, Venus and Billie Jean. We got more work to do.
We got more work to do, ladies.
All right. So let's get to the actual tennis. And so
Yeah.
on the women's side, for the week of February the 7th, which was your kid's birthday right here. Uh,
Yeah.
we had the tournament in St. Petersburg, Russia. And, you know, on one side, a 500 level tournament,
Mm,
it was the finals was what maybe you expected because you had the number one seed
mm,
versus the number two seed. You had
right.
Sakari versus Kontaveit.
Yep.
But Isaac, am I the only one that I mean, honestly, when it comes to Sakari and it gets to these later round, matchups, I don't even expect for her to win.
Yeah, yeah. I think both of us are definitely in the same boat because there's still some type of a mental kind of hurdle that Sakari has to get over in order for me to truly see her as, one of the best in the world.
Right.
She's got the game, man. She's got the game. She's got the serve. She's got the back. I
Right.
mean, she's got the best back of all the ladies in the business. I'm sorry, but it's just something about her mental when it comes to semis and finals that you always are just sort of expecting there to be kind of a crack. And
Hmm.
once again, that's kind of what happened in that final because honestly, there's no reason that Kontaveit should have won that final.
Right.
There were multiple occasions where Maria Sakkari had the match in hand and just allowed Kontaveit to just scratch her way back. I mean, it should have been straight sets, and Kontaveit was like, "Nah, we gonna extend this," and she got that tiebreaker. And then I believe Sakari was up in the third set, and then Kontaveit was like, "No, we're not
Mm-mm.
going out like that. I got a streak that I'm on, and you not. I'm not gonna let you be the one to break it."
Mm-mm.
So
I know your reputation.
exactly. I know your reputation, and you should know mine. How many tournaments have I won? Back to back to back to back to back
Right.
indoors. I
Right.
mean, Bryce, what is her record now? It's like what 5 jillion
I'm about to
to
say a
zero.
lot, a little. Right. And
I
I even
mean,
had to look it up. Sakari has only won one title.
isn't that amazing?
She is only
Crazy.
she's number six in the world, and she's only
Hmm.
won one title, and that was in 2019 in Morocco over Johanna Konta.
Hmm. Hmm.
So other than that, you look at her playing history, there are a lot of semifinal losses.
Yeah,
A lot.
exactly. A lot.
And on one end you say, okay, she's very consistent, she gets deep, but like you said, she's got the game to be able to walk away with the hardware.
Yep.
And so I knew when I saw that these two were in the finals, I didn't know what the score was going to be. I didn't know whether it was going to be close or whether it was going to be a blowout. And it ended up being 6-4 in the third, so it was a very good match. But I felt like if I would have put mortgage money on Contavate to win that match.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's just how how it goes with Sakura. She's just not a finisher. She's not a closer as it relates to tournaments. So hopefully that's something that her and her team can begin to work on. The one thing I can definitely say is that I feel like she still is very much dependent on her team. She's always looking up at them and there's always this back and forth with them and there that needs to be worked on a little bit because I just feel like there's too much reliance on her team and anyway, yeah, they've got some work to do.
So shout out to Contavate for grabbing
Yes.
another title, a 500 level title, and actually in the rankings, Sakari is number six and Contavate is number seven.
Yeah, she'll be leapfrogging her very soon. Because I just, like I said, I just feel like you just said, I feel very confident in Contavate and her ability to close out matches and tournaments, and I think that that's going to make a huge difference in the rankings going forward.
Right. And I'm not trying to draw unnecessary comparisons here, but we kind of get a little bit of that from Sakari's Greek male counterpart.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah, yep,
Sissipas.
yep.
I mean, granted, he has a little more hardware under his belt than she does, but
Right.
we've seen him in the later stages of some very key matches,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
has not been able to get it done. So
Yeah, I thought we were making some inroads last week when I didn't see his father in the stands, but then I looked. I mean, the week before last, but then last week, Papa was back. So,
he was like, he was like, I ain't going nowhere.
no, he's like, nah, son, I'm still here.
All right. So that was the week of February the 7th. Now,
Yes.
last week, the week of the
Hmm.
15th, we had another 500 level tournament, but this time we were in Dubai.
Yes. And talk about crazy.
Well, this definitely wasn't number one versus number two in, in the finals, but we had Ostapenko. Oh my gosh, this woman. Um, taking out your girl Cooter.
Right,
Uh,
Cooter. Cooter made a final, y'all. I was
she,
happy about that.
she did. And Ostapenko. Well, let's start with Ostapenko. What a week she had.
Well, let's be clear, Bryce. What a year she is having. Ostapenko is actually showing up. She's been getting some really good quality wins this season, and for her to get through there and put them things on Halep and all them other folks, Grand Slam champions, she was like, "Anybody scared of y'all?" And she got up in that final and was like, "Cootie, you don't even have you don't even have hardware, so I'm gonna hand you this bagel for one." So just so that you recognize, and then we're gonna go out 6-4, and we're gonna be
Yeah.
done with
Then we're
this.
gonna walk it out.
Then
And
we're gonna
that
walk it
and for our listeners, in case they're not aware, these are the people she beat in succession in
out.
this tournament. First, she took out Kennan,
Yep.
who is an Australian Open champion.
Uh, breadstick and a hoe biscuit.
Right.
Let's put that score line out there too. Sent her on her way to the bakery.
Exactly. Then she took out Swiatek,
Hmm.
who we know won the French Open.
Yes. Gave her breadstick in the second set. Come on.
Right. Then she took out Kvitova,
Tough
who
match.
has a couple of Wimbledons, right?
That's right. 2 Wimbledons.
Now we will say this: Kvitova did take out Big Sab,
Yes, she did.
Sabalenka.
Yes,
She
she
took out
did.
the number one seed, so she probably, thought she was on a roll there until Ostapenko was like, "Come here, girl, where you going?" you know
Oh, exactly. Where you going? But hey, man, they had a tough battle. 5-7, 7-5, 7-6. That was a good fight.
exactly, and to think that Ostapenko was able to hold it together long enough to
Mm,
to to get that victory. That's what was most impressive
right.
uh, to me. And then she took out Halep,
Two
who,
French Open champions.
yeah, and well, Halep's got a French, she's got a Wimbledon.
Hmm.
Um, I mean, she,
Bruh. And let's not forget, she threw that bagel on her in that third set too.
she did.
She apparently had a little bit of sponsorship from a bakery locally or something.
Must
And she
have,
was, I'm gonna be
must
sending
have,
y'all some business. I'm sending y'all some business. That's all I'm saying.
right. So that's what she did. Now we lost the number two seed fairly early, Krachikova.
Yes.
She lost to Yastrzemska, and it's weird. Yastrzemska is kind of Ostapenko-ish herself.
She is, absolutely.
I mean, she's got the game. Look, when she's on, she can play with the best women in the world.
Yeah,
But
she rough.
but she has a whole circus always going around her, you
Exactly.
know, and you just never really know what's happening there. But
Mm.
yeah, Ostapenko, she's now back up to number 13 in the world. She's 3 spots out of the top 10.
There you go. Well, and in truth, Bryce, I mean, she's got the game to be there because she hits big, she
Mm-hmm.
anticipates well. It's just she to me is very much like Big Sab. I mean, if she can rein in her shots, she is dangerous.
Yep. Yep.
And apparently that's what she's been doing a good job at this year. So,
Did she have a coaching change or something?
she may have. You know how everybody be bouncing around.
I,
I don't know specifically if she does or not, but I would imagine so because you know how it is. They change coaches and then they start showing out.
yeah, well, because has Ostapenko won a match at the French since she took the title?
That's a
No,
great question.
no, because I thought she had never won a match there until she won the title, and then I wasn't sure if she had won a match
Since then.
you know.
That is a great question, brother. And I would not be surprised if she had not, put it that way. Because she ain't been, like I said, over the last year since she won the French, she really has not done much of anything.
No.
So, like I said, it's nice to see her getting back on the right track in 2022. So we'll see if that continues.
Well, and with that, that's all of the women's tennis for the last 2 weeks.
There you go.
How's that for
There
equity?
you go, right?
So,
oh man,
let's talk about the men. And this is,
yes.
I mean, we got tournaments galore on this side. So
yeah, we do.
We're just not gonna even mess around. We're gonna go back to the week of the 7th, and let's go to Rotterdam.
Okay.
And let's just go ahead and get it out there. FAA finally got it done,
brother.
And he got a title, and not only did he get a title, that's a 500 level title, right?
That is a 500 level title. Yeah, and
he took out Tsitsipas, and he took him out easily, 4-2.
Oh yeah, I mean Felix had a great week, Bryce. I mean he went ahead and jumped on Andy Murray in the second round.
Yep.
Said, "Go and get out of here."
Yep.
He took Cam Murray now Cam Norrie was a surprise to me. I did not think. I honestly thought that was going to be a three setter. I really did, and it almost was 7-5, 7-6. But I actually thought that Cam. I was like, okay, Cam's trying to get his groove back, so that might be a tough one. But yeah, right. Felix got through that. He got through Rubles. I was like, okay, if you get the Rubles, you might have something here. And then got it, like you said, got in the final and was looking at Tsitsipas like, man, I like your game. Remember, we played a lot.
Right. I was so happy for him, man. You know, and because we've been teasing, like, if he needed to drop and play a 125 or whatever to just get this monkey off his back, but to get it off your back with a 500 level tournament,
right, dude,
that's strong.
That's strong.
And honestly, since Wimbledon, we have seen him consistently getting to the later stages of these tournaments, and I think we have seen the effect of Tony Nadal.
That's the Uncle Tony effect. You got it. It's kicking in. The confidence is kicking in, bruh.
So shout out to FAA. He took that title.
Very proud of him.
Now, we also in the same week had the inaugural year of the Dallas Open.
That's right. Dallas.
Yeah, and so you had in this tournament basically a bunch of Americans or Europeans who thought that they could come beat the Americans.
Right.
And in the final, we had Opelka versus Brooksby. And Opelka, he snuck it out. 7-6, 7-6.
And Bryce, I have to say, I felt that I saw a different game style with Opelka in that match specifically, because Brooksby is just tricky. He's tricky. He's another Andy Murray, just incredible tennis IQ, kind of knows how to make you uncomfortable and not allow you to really play your top level tennis. And I was really surprised that Riley was able to adjust to be able to answer a lot of the things that Brooksby was throwing at him. That was really a great match, and it showed very, very well on Riley Opelka, I have to say.
Yeah, you and me both. I kind of was expecting Brooksby to take that title.
Me too. Yeah.
Um, and but Opelka came through. But in tradition of this tournament that came from where does this tournament come from? This was the one that used to be in New York, right?
I believe
Or was the
so.
one in Atlanta? One of the
It was
ones.
either Atlanta or New York.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I think it was like one of those ones that John Isner typically won.
Right. Yep.
So
Yep.
in the tradition of a John Isner, I guess it was only right that Opelka, won the title.
Exactly. One of the bots got it, so it's
Right.
all good.
So shout out to you, Riley Opelka. Good on you. And he snagged the Dallas Open.
Yes, he did.
And then we had the Argentina
Yes.
Open.
Yes.
And this was another example of where we had number one versus number two. And I don't know about you, Isaac, but from the moment I looked at this draw, I was like, okay, Rudy's going to take this title.
Yeah, exactly.
But he played Schwartzman in the finals, and it was a three-setter. Schwartzman came out there ready and took that first set 7-5. But Rude was like, oh, hold on, wait a minute.
Hold up.
Yeah, wait a minute. So 2 and 3 later,
Yes, sir.
Rude was holding up the title.
Yes, yes. Good on you, Casper. He loves some clay. He's gonna be rough to deal with when the French Open comes around. That's for sure.
But we've heard since that tournament. I mean, he's had to withdraw now. I think he withdrew last week, and I think he withdrew this week with some sort
Right.
of ab
Yeah, which is
issue.
tough. You know that ab. It's always one of the roughest muscles to heal. We've seen many a player go out and be out months because of that dang ab injury. So hopefully it won't take him out too long. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, because he's finally gotten himself in the top 10. He's ranked number 8 right now,
Nice.
and I know he's got some points to defend. So we'll see.
Yep.
Hopefully, he doesn't have to be out for too long.
Let's hope not. We like Casper.
No, no. So that was for the week of February the 7th.
Yes.
Before we get to the week of the 14th, last week, just wanted to acknowledge an announcement that was made a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know that we talked about it on a show or anything,
Yeah.
but Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal have committed to playing Laver Cup this year.
Wow. I didn't even hear that, bro.
Yes.
Nice.
And they've had a couple of social media posts about, come on, let's go get it.
All right.
And they talking noise. And I was like, you know what the thing that crossed my mind? I was like, Federer, are you going to qualify for the team?
I know, quietly.
But I forgot I think there's one or two positions for the coach.
Gotcha.
They get to select. So I think the first 3 or 4 are by the rankings, and then the last 1 or 2
that's
are
right.
coach's decision. So I know Roger, all he has to do is raise his left eyebrow if you're on board, and that's a done deal.
Done.
But, so if they wanted to hype up, the Laver Cup this year, everybody's going to be on that with Roger and Rafa playing, and it's in London this year
Right.
too.
It's in London. That's right. Yep.
Yeah. So
I hope they pull Andy in there. I mean, I realize, his ranking probably won't be, up there, but it would be nice because he has not played a Laver Cup, right?
I don't think he has.
Yeah, I don't think he has either. And I just really feel like, again, I know everybody's, big three, but Andy Murray did his thing and he is a part of the big four. So I personally would like.
Well, the big question would be, do you think Djokovic would play?
No. If Rafa, no, exactly. Hell, hopefully they have some vaccine mandates in place. Anyway, Sorry, y'all. But not sorry. And besides, Federer and Nadal gonna play, so we don't need Djokovic up in there. No, I don't. I don't want all three of them up in there. I don't need his storyline and all his stuff overshadowing things. So no,
Right.
he can stay at home and watch on TV like everybody
So think about
else.
you pair Roger and Rafa with Medvedev, Zverev, Tsitsipas, and Berrettini.
hmm But here's the thing, though. I know, Bryce. I know. But here's the thing, though. Don't underestimate them Canadians, though, because they trying to show out a little bit. They got up in that ATP Cup, and
They did.
they did their thing there. So I am not as I mean, like I said, it's definitely proof is in the pudding. So they still got more proof that they got to do. But I'm definitely riding the Felix Shapovalov train. I think that they are going to make things really, really tough for that other side going forward. And hopefully one of these blasted Americans can get up in there and try and help out a little bit.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Shapovalov is gonna need to start stepping his game back up
Yeah.
because FAA has really taken it to the next level.
Yep.
And right now, if I look at the rankings, FAA is number 9,
Yep.
and Shapovalov has dropped to number 14.
Yeah. He's still having more dips. And that's where he really just gotta work to level out his top level, if you will. Because you've said it before, and it's the truth. When Shapovalov is playing his best tennis,
Mm-hmm.
he is rough. He is rough.
Right.
And he will bring it to any and every one. But
Right.
that's the thing is how often and how long can that top level be sustained? And that's where I feel like he's having his struggle. He's gotta keep pushing himself to be more consistent and like win on bad days, because I feel like he takes losses from people he shouldn't be losing to.
Right. I
Yeah.
totally agree. So
Yeah.
if he can step it up, I'm right there with you. Canada can be a beast adding on to Team World. Uh,
hmm
I know our listeners are probably thinking these boys are random today, but we haven't talked
We
tennis in
ain't
a
talked to
minute.
y'all in a
So,
while. Come
so just
on.
sit down and enjoy the ride
Exactly.
because based upon Isaac's comment about Djokovic, I just wanted to read this quote
hmm
from Tony Nadal that I thought was hilarious. You may not think it's funny. I thought it was funny. He said, and I quote, "Many say that to win, you need a good environment. Well, allow me to question it. Look at what Djokovic has won when his environment is what it is. In any case, the Nadal family is normal and always has been."
Mm.
The shade on that is
Shade.
heavy. I mean, like, there is no sunshine coming through. None.
None. It is shade. It's gray. It's charcoal gray.
And to be clear, he has made a couple of comments like this
hmm
recently.
Yeah. I think it's coming through. A lot of the folks are seeing just how, just honestly ridiculous Djokovic is being and has been. And like I said, I'm to that point where I just don't even want to really talk about him anymore, because it's just I struggle with him, man, because he's got the world at his fingertips and he's just doing dumb things, and
Right.
it just doesn't make sense to me. So y'all, I do try not to talk bad about folks, and so that's why I'm just trying not to even talk about him, because there's really nothing good for me to say about him at this point in time. So
Right.
yeah.
All right. So we will actually get back to the tennis results. Excuse the little sidebar we had there.
Exactly. We had to give y'all a little intermission.
Right. So for the men from last week, there were 4 tournaments that happened. We had one 500 and we had 3 250. So let's go ahead and start with the one 500 tournament, and that was the Rio Open.
Yes.
And y'all, the latest addition to Bryce's varsity team,
Yes,
not
sir.
JV,
Not JV.
varsity team
Mm-hmm.
is Linnell's dungeon boy, Carlos Alcaraz. Look, I told Linnell last week, I said, he is no longer the future of tennis. He's the present.
Yeah, he is the now. He is the present. Absolutely.
And he met Schwartzman in the finals of the tournament, and he walked it out 4-2.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Like that's what he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like like he didn't just make history because at his age, at 18, he is the youngest player in the ATP to win a 500 level tournament
Mm-hmm.
at that age. The
Sure
youngest.
enough. Sure enough.
I mean, and now granted, they started this whole level thing in 2009, so it's not like we're comparing it back to
Right.
1901 or something. But nonetheless,
Nonetheless, he's got that
since
title.
2009, he is the youngest one. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I read this earlier today. He is he's now number 20, so he's in the top 20. He has reached the top 20 at a younger age than any of the big three.
Wow.
Even Rafa, I think he's beaten Rafa by maybe I forgot how many days it is, maybe
Hmm.
100 days or something like that. But
Okay.
yeah, quicker than Rafa, Roger, or Novak.
Wow. Says a lot, brother. Says a lot. I mean, the young man has got some crazy talent. The transformation he made in just a couple months, if you will, because you know the
Mm-hmm.
off season ain't long,
Nope.
and but he put on stacks of muscle, and that tennis IQ is just growing and growing. Shout out to Juan Carlos Ferrero
Yep.
and the team. I mean, they getting it right with him, man. They getting it right with him. Know that he is going to be in the conversation of Grand Slams very, very soon.
Right. And let's remember, this was his second title
Mm-hmm.
that he's
Right.
won. And he had a couple of really good wins this week because he had that whole biscuit fest
Right.
with Berrettini
Right.
where they were trading whole biscuits 6-2, 2-6, 6-2.
Uh-huh.
And then, it's always tough to beat a crafty veteran. And he
Yes.
took out Fonini.
Oh yeah, and Fonini
6-2,
crazy.
7-5. Right.
Yeah, exactly. So that's a tough match to get through, but he got through in straight sets.
So shout out to Alcaraz. I mean,
Yes.
I'm telling you what, people are now looking for him in the draw.
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. They want him to get seeded by the time French roll around for sure. Them top
Right.
seeds, cause whoo, yeah, he gonna be running through some folk come French.
I just need him and Rafa on opposite ends of the draw.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with you.
Oh my gosh. So anyway, that was the 2022 Rio Open.
Yes.
Now for the first 250 in Doha,
Mm-hmm.
we had RBA meet Fist of Fury.
Hands.
Basilashvili
Yes.
in the final, and I think Basilashvili won this title last year.
He
Uh,
did.
he beat he RBA took him out 3-4, and you know what? RBA was clowning folks last week.
Yeah, exactly. Just being mean. I mean, first of all, he jumped up on Andy Murray and was like, "Sir, you must have spent all your energy on Terrell Daniels because you ain't got nothing for me here today."
Right.
Bagel breadstick, and then got a hold to Davidovich Fokina and was like, "Sir, once again, you my countryman. I know your game. I like
Right.
your game. Here your breadsticks."
Davidovich Fokina got the trainer out there trying to stretch his back out. I was like, that ain't gonna help you, dude.
It's not gonna help,
Yeah,
friend.
just go ahead and get this breadstick and get on your way.
Woo. I'm telling you, my man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, RBA was on fire. Now, kudos to Hatchinall for giving him a bit of a battle. He's
Mm-hmm.
actually been playing pretty good this year, and I actually think him taking out Chilich was actually a pretty
It
nice
was a
little
good win.
victory as well. That's a good win. But yeah, but he had, RBA was like, yeah, that's nice, but go and get out the way. And yeah, and he told Hans, he was like, yeah, you might have them fists of fury for others, but you ain't got nothing for me.
For me.
Not for me. Those aren't for me.
Exactly. I am too quick for you.
Right?
Oh my God. Stick and jab, stick and
Stick
jab.
and jab, baby. Stick and jab.
Oh my God. But I tell you what, but
Oh.
this was the tournament that we talked about, like Shapovalov. I mean,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
he was number one seed, and
yeah.
I think he went down in straight sets to that Renderneck.
Yeah, when you connect. Yep. Mm-hmm.
And and of course he went out to Fist of Fury uh,
Right.
after that. But I mean, Shapovalov needs to be in the mix of things.
Yeah, those are losses he just can't afford to take. You shouldn't be losing to a Render Connect Netch at all. I mean, he's
Yeah,
he's good, but he ain't that good.
no, no, no,
No,
no.
no.
So that was Doha. So shout out to you, RBA, for representing.
That's right.
So next, we have the Delray Beach Open, another
Mm-hmm.
250. Shout out to our guy Grant Cohen, who's out there representing in the media relations.
Grant.
Yeah, so out there handling business. I saw him on the telly a couple of times doing his thing. We'll hopefully we'll look to reconnect with him in Cincinnati. But
That's right.
um, anyway, this was another example of one of these U.S. tournaments
Mm-hmm.
where we had a lot of Americans or Europeans that think they can beat Americans, and in the finals we had Cam Norrie against Opelka.
Yeah. Opelka made two finals in a row. So
Mm-hmm.
kudos to him for that. He won the previous week in Dallas and made it to the final of Delray Beach. So that in itself, pretty solid. Like I said, Riley's on something right now. He's playing some really good tennis.
And
Um,
and this was a really good victory for Norrie because going into this match, Norrie was 0-2 against
uh-huh.
Opelka. Opelka had beaten him for the first time actually at the Delray Beach Open last year,
Hmm.
and then he beat him in straight sets at the Australian Open
Okay.
this
Okay.
past year. And I guess Norrie was like, enough of that. But it was a good match. It was
It
7-6,
was
7-6.
It was a good match, absolutely. And Nori was in on a lot of Opelka serves. I was really impressed with how he was handling his ball coming at him. So it was a
Mm-hmm.
good match. Good for Cam, man, because he's had a rough start to 2022. He's
Yeah.
definitely maybe he was off getting his celebration on from his 2021 results, but
Right.
he's had a slow start. But I feel like he's about to start picking it up once
Yep.
again.
Yep. And the best way you can do that is with the title.
That's right. Come on.
And then for our final 250 of last week, we had the Open
Yes.
13 in Marseille, France. And here's the funny thing, it was a rematch of the week before the semifinals in Rotterdam.
Mm-hmm.
And we had Rublev against FAA. And this time Rublev was like, you don't get me two times in a row.
Not twice. Not two times. No.
No, 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 no. And I was really hoping that FAA won this because I
Yeah.
wanted to see him go from his struggles of starting off 0-8 in finals and then now winning two titles in a row.
Right. Same
Yeah.
here. I was so hoping he was going to be able to get it done, but you know what? Kudos to Rublev though. I watched that match pretty intently, and Rublev was doing some good things. I mean, he was taking Felix's ball and was really redirecting it very nicely. I mean, it was a battle. It could have honestly gone either way because again, it was 7-5, 7-6. Felix was trying to push it to a third. But again, Rublev was just playing some good ball on the day. And Felix was trying to come up with answers, but Rublev was like, nah, bro, we're not doing this again.
No.
You had your week.
Right. But like we've been saying, another deep run and strong result for FAA.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So for me, I honestly feel as though he's rounding into some really good form. I would
Hmm.
not be surprised if he did not pick up one, maybe even two titles this year.
Yeah.
I just really see him gaining more and more in confidence and getting himself in those discussions again. Don't be surprised if Felix ain't trying to scratch on top five
Oh yeah.
before end of year. Don't be surprised, y'all.
I totally agree with you. And like I said, he's already at number 9.
Exactly.
And Casper
Exactly.
Ruud got the tore up gut, so he may jump him in a minute, you know. And then Rublev, we know he can battle with him.
Right.
And see, the interesting thing is going to be Berrettini because see, FAA should really get up on Berrettini.
Hmm.
But they got those extra kind of intangibles
Connections. Yeah, them
between
extra
between
intangibles.
them, and
Yep.
I think Berrettini kind of feels like, man, you FAA, get out of
Yeah.
here. Nobody worried about
Exactly.
you.
But he does have a win against him though. So and wasn't it a grand slam when Felix beat Berrettini?
I
I
may
know
have
I
been.
know
I
he
can't
beat
remember.
him. I just can't quite remember where it was where he got because remember Berrettini I think beat him at Wimbledon.
He did.
And
Yeah.
yeah, and then I wonder if Felix beat him at the U.S. Open. He beat him sometime last fall, and so he's not afraid of Berrettini. They like you said, they got them intangibles, but they know what's up. They get on the court, and it's like, all right, it's time to battle. It's time to get
Right.
at it.
Because you
Um,
would think FAA would just make that a backhand battle.
he would definitely try. Yeah,
You
but
know.
but but you know what, Bryce? I tell you this, and this is the one thing I actually saw in that matchup with Rublev, and I'll try not to get too wordy. FAA still needs to work on his backhand down the line.
Hmm.
He's got to develop that shot. He needs that shot to be able to beat someone like a Rublev because there were plenty of times where he could have gone up the line and he even tried, but unfortunately he wasn't precise enough, so it kind of went in the middle of the court and
Hmm.
Rublev was able to get that forehand. But yeah, he needs to develop that backhand down the line. And once he does that, he's gonna be rough to deal with.
Yeah, and I think I saw him try to hit one of those down the line backhands, and he almost hit the chair umpire.
Yep.
So
So he
that,
tried. So he knows.
right. So Tony Nadal, you know what the assignment is.
You know what the assignment is. Let's go.
Now, I want to call out something else from that tournament.
Yeah.
So remember when we had the ATP Cup earlier in the year, the one where Canada took it? Remember when Rublev and Karatsev, they had caught the Rona, so they couldn't play.
Hmm.
So they had that Roman uh, Safulin,
Yes. After. Yeah. Yep.
Safiulin. I
Yep.
got to learn how to say his name. Um, and he was out there working people out
Right.
in the ATP
Yes.
Cup. And I wondered if he was going to be able to reproduce that level of play,
Hmm.
later in the season. And well, he sure was able to produce it against Tsitsipas.
Sure did. Wasn't
Uh,
no fluke.
yeah, he took him out 4-4. Um, but FAA was like, remember, we won the cup, so.
Right. But he played a tough match against him. I was even
Mhm.
concerned about that one because I thought he was going to end up pushing it to a third. 7-6, 7-6. That's a battle. That ain't
It
nothing to
was a
be
good
ashamed
match.
of. Yeah.
Well, and so now we have, like our good friends at the Net podcast. AJ
Hmm.
asked, hey, is Safiullin this year's Karatsev? Now, I'm not going to go that far, but I
Right.
do think he is going to be, if he can continue to play at this level, he
Hmm.
will be another Russian in the mix.
Oh yeah, yeah, and he was a very strong junior, as I understand it. So I think he won one of the junior Grand Slam titles. I thought they had
Oh, okay.
said. So yeah, he's someone that definitely has the talent, but just unfortunately hasn't shown it in his career thus far. But I think again, like Karatsev, he's finding his form and trying to get
Hmm.
himself out there. So. Yeah, I like the guy. I think he has a great game. So hopefully he will continue to progress.
And shout out to Rublev showing that he can win a tournament that's not a 500 level tournament.
Right. And won the doubles.
and won the doubles.
and won
Right.
the doubles. So
And I meant to shout out when we talked earlier about um Ostapenko beating Cooter. You
hmm
know, Cooter may have lost the finals of singles, but she did take
but
the
she
doubles
did
title.
take the doubles. That's right. Exactly. Cooter knew. She was like, I'm gonna get out of here with some hardware now. Don't trip.
So Isaac, I think that actually catches us up on all of the tennis that happened in the last 2 weeks.
Yes, it was a lot, but it was good tennis though. Good tennis, good results.
Right. So let's talk about what's coming up this week,
hmm
and we'll start back with the women.
Yeah.
And we have two tournaments. We
hmm
have a 250 and we have a 1,000
Yes.
level
Yes.
tournament. So let's start with
Yes.
the 250 because we ain't gonna spend a whole lot of time over here. Uh,
Exactly.
so they're in Guadalajara, Mexico. Now, here's the interesting thing for me. So your seeds are Raducanu is the number one seed.
hmm
Then number two, you have Madison Keys.
hmm
Then you have Ceribes Tormo. Then you have Osorio. Then you have, I don't know, Parisas Diaz. I don't even know who that is. But she's seated one spot ahead of
but
Sloane
she's
Stevens.
exactly.
And then number seven, you have Masaki Doi.
uh-huh.
And then you have Zhang.
Right.
Now, this is my question to you.
hmm
When I look and I see a Sloane Stevens and I see a
hmm
Madison Keys in a
Yep.
250 level tournament, the week that there is a 1,000
hmm
level tournament, was this a choice just not to play the 1,000, or is this now a ranking thing? I'm not sure what, because look
I
up
think
their
it's a
rank.
ranking. Yeah, I think it's a ranking thing, bruh. I think that they probably would not have gotten direct entry into that 1000 if all the ladies are playing. Because remember, they down in the 50 60s, I believe. So at a 1000, if all the ladies are playing,
Well, okay.
you might have to go through qualies.
Well, I'm looking at the rankings right now, and Madison Keys is number 29.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because she did have that solid start.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah,
So
so yeah, you're right. So
and and Sloan is 57, so that's high enough.
well, you would think so. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they was just like, nah, we ain't quite ready for that 1000 level fury. We'll come down here to a little easier 250. But quietly looking at the live score, Madison might be regretting that decision.
Well, okay, we're gonna leave that alone right now. So
Sorry.
let's let's
Oh,
let's talk about you know
uh.
the draw, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so glad to see a couple of other names though in there. Haley Baptiste
Yes.
qualified,
Yep, yep. Got
and
Dolahide in there.
yeah, and Katie McNally came through as a
Mm-hmm.
wild card.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, how do you see this tournament going?
Well, at the start of it, I would have, been like, oh yeah, Madison Keys, because she had the hot start and she's been playing some really, really good tennis. So, even though the match she's in right now isn't over, I'll go ahead and just, I'll I'll stick with that. I will say her. Yeah, I would think it would be her.
Now, you know what? Okay, so Isaac, that's really nice of you to do. I just looked at the score. Madison Keys is about to go home and watch TC Plus and see what's going on over in Dubai. Uh, so yeah. And
Oh,
unfortunately, Katie McNally lost in three sets
yeah.
today.
Yep.
But Sloane Stevens, she gave
Sloan
out
won.
two whole biscuits to a 14-year-old.
Get that she did.
So I'm glad she pulled that out. Uh, so, so I don't know. I mean, this is what's crazy about the 250s because I mean, it could be anybody, right? And
It could be.
even though Raducanu is the number one seed, I mean, we really believe it in her like that right now?
No, and quietly, I need to see a Raducanu Stevens rematch quietly
Right,
because she
right.
jumped up on Sloan and was snatching her, and I just need to see if that's if that's really how this matchup is going, or if Sloan was just having a bad day.
Okay. So this is what I need to do. I need to go ahead and put this out in the atmosphere. I need for Sloan to win this tournament.
Yes,
There,
yes,
as I look at the other people that are in this tournament, Sloan should win this tournament.
she should.
Uh, right. So we're gonna put, or at least I'm gonna put all my good energy behind Sloan,
Yes.
and hope that she pulls this 250 out.
I am with you. I'm still going to keep my fingers crossed for Madison. Hopefully, if she can win this game here, she might have a chance. But if she don't, it's going to be tight. Anyway.
Because honestly, to me, I don't even know if she at the match. It looked like she on her way to a bakery.
Well, that's what I'm saying. She at least need to get this one game to get us started.
She clearly was at a bakery in the second set, but at least she was buying.
At least
You know,
exactly.
now it looks like she about to eat.
She about to, yeah, well, exactly. Well,
All right.
anyway, okay, so that's that one.
So that's that one. So let's move on over to Doha.
Yes.
Oh, I said Dubai. I meant Doha.
Well, yeah.
Now this is where this is where we got the players at.
Yes.
And let me just run down. I know we typically just do the top 8, but I'm gonna quickly run down the top 16 so that
Mm-hmm.
you know who we got here. We got Sabalenka, Krachikova, Badosa, Kontaveit, Muguruza, Sakari, Swiatek, Jabeur, Pagula, Svitolina, Rybakina, Azarenka, Kerber, Coco Gauff, Ostapenko, and Elise Mertens. That's
Mm-hmm.
grand slam type,
That it really is Grand Slam.
right?
Yeah, it really is. Yep.
Now, I know we got a few updates here that some of those people I named probably ain't in Doha anymore.
No, they're not.
Uh, I mean, I just, it was an interesting day today because, first of all, Svitolina,
Mm-hmm.
the L. I don't think has she won a match in 2022?
She may have won one, maybe two, but she ain't won that many. She ain't won that many.
I,
Unfortunately, the marriage thing is flipped. It's done good for Gael, but it's done bad for her.
I'm gonna keep my mouth closed and just say I hope she gets it together.
Yes.
Um, but she is no longer there. Your girl, Caroline Caroline
Garcia.
Garcia,
Uh-huh.
uh, was like, I am not impressed with the new Simona Halep. That married version. She might want to go back to Darren Cahill. You know what? She went out in straight sets 4-3.
Yeah, yeah. I think that loss to Ostapenko last week, she was just like, woo, she wore me out. I'm tired. Cause yeah, the old Simona Halep would not have lost at all to Caroline Garcia. So she
No,
tired. She
she must
tired.
be tired. Uh, your girl Jill Teichman was not impressed with the hardware that Angelique Kerber
Angelique,
owned.
she was like, listen, sis, I'm the lefty today. I'm the lefty on this court. Don't play with me.
Right. I don't even know this Jacqueline Christian, but apparently she don't know Rabakina either.
Well,
Uh,
but here's the thing: Rebecca is coming off of an injury, so I'm gonna give her a little bit of a reprieve. She probably ain't 100% yet, but you know, yeah,
okay, all right, we'll give her that for
we
this
gonna
week.
give her a little bit this week. But if she come back losing again next week, then I'll be like, girl, go and sit down somewhere now. You ain't ready. You ain't ready.
And then your girl Kuda, after making the finals last week, I guess she's tired.
Yeah, she was like, okay, that's enough.
Arancha Roos. It is always so freaky watching her play because
Yeah,
that
she's
ball
interesting,
toss,
right?
that the eye, and she got like that kind of like special look in her eye.
Yeah, it's a little strange. It's a little strange.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, as you can see, some of those people we named are no longer in the tournament. But I tell you who still is in the tournament, and that is Coco Golf,
That's right.
who I 2-3 is a solid win over Shelby Rogers.
Absolutely, absolutely. That to me is a very, very good start for her. And we haven't seen her in a minute, so hopefully she's been off just training and getting that forehand right. I did not get to see the match today, but I saw the result, and I was like, okay, all right, maybe hopefully that is a good side and a sign rather, and that's her trending, in the right direction for her.
Right. And shout out to Azarenka today in her match against Putintseva, saying that Putintseva needed a mental coach or a psychiatrist, uh, which I thought was kind of
Drama.
ironic for her to say based upon some of the
Yeah.
stuff she done did. But
Right.
yeah, that was interesting. So, Isaac, what are we thinking? This is a 1,000 level tournament. I mean, semifinal.
Hmm. Oh man, that's a great question. Who would I pick here for the semis? Because my girl Big Sab, I still am holding out hope for her, but I still don't know that her game is quite right
Mm-hmm.
just yet. So you know, and it's unfortunate because I can't see the draw in the way that I'm used to seeing it. Thanks, WTA site, trash.
Trash.
Won't even let you download the PDF. Anyway, so if I'm seeing this correctly, Bryce, and I don't think that I am, but if I'm seeing this correctly, I think up top I
Mm-hmm.
would probably say, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, I'm gonna go with a. It's tough because you know what? No, I'm gonna go with Golf against Big Sab.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sakri, but I know Sakri's gonna have to play Pagula. That's gonna be rough. And I think
Mhm.
whoever wins that match probably is going to end up losing to Golf. If I'm looking at the draw correctly, because again, I can't quite see the draw in the way that I'm used to looking at it.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
would they play in the semis? Is that possible?
Yeah, yeah. You're saying golf and Big Sab?
Yeah.
Yep, yep. That's it.
Okay.
That would be a semifinal up top.
Okay. Okay. And at the bottom, I am going to say, and I know you're going to laugh at me, but I am going to say Contivate versus Anisimova.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. I know.
All right. So we have one of four.
Who you got, brother? Who you got?
Okay, so up top, I'm going Swiatek versus Badosa.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, that and that top section is heavy, so it can go a bunch of different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But then
Okay.
on the bottom, I agree with you about Contivate because I just think she's hot right now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep. Yep.
Uh, and you know what? And this probably means she gonna lose, but I'm gonna go ahead and put Ostapenko back out there.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I think I'm gonna just go with the ladies that are hot right now.
There you go. Well, she is definitely one of them. Her game is right. So,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, I ain't mad at you on that one, bro.
and she did win her match today.
Hmm.
So all right, so who are you thinking then maybe for the finals?
All right. So for me, I'm gonna call Golf, and I'm gonna actually, I'm just gonna call the Americans. I'm gonna call Golf against Anisimova.
Okay, and I'm gonna go Badosa against Contivate.
Okay, that's the more logical. Certainly is the more logical, but I am just stepping out there on crazy. So there
Okay.
you go.
And then who are you picking between Golf and Anisimova?
As much as I want to choose Coco, I probably am going to choose Anisimova.
Wow. Okay.
I just feel
Um.
like what I saw from her from the Australian Open was pretty impressive, I have to say.
Okay. Okay. Who's her new coach, by the way? I forgot.
Yeah, is it Cahill?
Yes, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah,
Yes,
Darren
it's
Cahill.
Cahill.
So
Okay.
I'm thinking she's trying to impress him a little bit. So she might step out there trying to make a statement. So
Okay. I'm gonna go with Badosa over Contavate.
okay, okay,
Uh, and but we'll see. This is a stacked draw,
it
so
is.
it
Yeah,
we could have in the finals Allison Risk against Casatina. I mean, I don't know. You know,
that is true though.
I don't know. Um, so anyway, so
Oh,
that's the women for this week. So let's
yes.
jump over and take a look at the men.
Hmm.
We'll start with a 250 in Santiago, Chile,
All right.
and honestly, I mean,
Hmm.
Christian Garian should just win this tournament. Isn't he defending champion anyway?
He might be. I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean,
He should though.
you look at the draw, ain't nobody in there that can beat Garian.
They shouldn't. Yeah, they should not be able to beat him. I'm looking down the draw. I've got my sentimental favorite, and who is the number 2 seed, Albert Ramos Mignoles, but I don't think he should be able to do anything.
I mean, you have your top 8 seeds. You have Garin, you have Ramos Finolis, you have Debonis, you have Martinez or Martinez. I think it says it's tough for
Yeah.
me because in Georgia I lived in Martinez County, and so I've gotten out of saying Martinez. Anyway,
Gotcha.
number 5 you have Correa, 6 you have Kecmanovic, 7 Baez, and 8 Bagnus. So. I mean,
I tell you what, never don't sleep on Kecmanovic though. He's been having a relatively good year.
and at one point he was on my JV squad. I mean, that was a
Mm-hmm.
while ago, but
Mm-hmm.
he may be trying to make his way back up.
Just might. Yeah.
All
So
right.
there we
So
go.
that's a 250. Going to
Mexico?
huh?
Oh
No.
wait, no.
I'm saving that for last.
Oh, okay.
Uh
Oh, see. I always think Dubai is 1,000. That's right. It's a 500. That's right.
right. So Dubai 500. All right.
Mm-hmm.
We have the return of Djokovic.
Yep.
And he is the top seed, and he
Yep.
already put it on Musetti earlier today.
Yes.
But we have Djokovic, Rublev. Um, why it withdraw? Oh, FAA should
Yeah.
have been the
FA
number
pulled
3
out.
seed, but he pulled
Yeah.
out, which is smart because I don't
Yep.
want him to burn himself out.
Right.
Number 4 center, 5 Herkic, number 6 Shapovalov, number 7 Karatsev, and number 8 RBA.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good draw, a very good draw.
It is. It very much is. Um,
I just
I
have a
am. Yeah. Go ahead.
I know I was just gonna say I just have a feeling that this is the type of tournament after all this noise that's been talked about Djokovic and based upon who's in the draw,
Mm-hmm.
Djokovic is going to drive all these people.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think my initial thought is Djokovic will win this tournament. The only person that I think has a shot at beating him
Mm-hmm.
would be RBA, because
Mm-hmm.
RBA ain't scared of Djokovic,
We
and
know
he has
that.
and we know that he's got a couple, y'all, of wins against Djokovic, not just one,
Right.
couple, a few.
Right.
So he ain't scared of no Djokovic. So
Nope.
that's the one. That's the match I want and need to see. I need to see RBA Djokovic. All my. I'm gonna be all over RBA. Um, just telling the truth, y'all. But hey, if Djokovic comes out and does what he does, then hey, kudos to him. Because like I said, y'all, what he does on court,
Mm-hmm.
hey, the man can play. He's a champion for a reason. I always will give him kudos for what he does between the lines. But outside of that,
Oh.
So yeah, I'm like you, bro. I'm calling Djokovic. I think he's gonna win this tournament. I think he's trying to come out there and make a statement.
I do too. So shout out to him.
Yeah.
Now, moving on to
Moving
the
on.
next tournament, which is like what you were saying, the one in Acapulco, Mexico.
Yes.
Okay, first of all, let's look at the seeds in this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Got Medvedev,
Yep.
Zverev, Tsitsipas,
Mm-hmm.
Nadal, Berrettini, Cam Norrie, Taylor Fritz, Karina Busta, another 500 level
Yep.
tournament. I actually am more impressed with this draw
I agree.
than I am, um, the draw that where's he at? He's in Dubai.
Dubai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Acapulco I think is a stronger draw. But why I kept this tournament for last is because we have a variety of scenarios where Medvedev can take over the number one ranking this week.
Oh, I did not realize that. Okay.
Yes. And so I want to give you what some of those scenarios are.
Okay.
If Medvedev wins the title, it does not matter what Djokovic does in Dubai. He becomes number
Nice.
one. So it's
Nice.
really in his hands,
Okay.
right?
Okay. I always wanted it to be that way.
Right. Let's say Medvedev reaches the final, but Djokovic does not win Dubai. He loses in any round, even if it's in the finals. Medvedev becomes number one.
Okay.
If Medvedev reaches the semifinals and Djokovic does not reach the Dubai final, Medvedev becomes number one.
Okay.
If Medvedev reaches the quarterfinals and Djokovic does not reach the semifinals in Dubai, Medvedev becomes number one. If Medvedev reaches the second round and Djokovic does not reach the semifinals, so let's say he loses to RBA
Mm-hmm. Yep.
in the quarters, Medvedev becomes number one. And if Medvedev loses in the first round and Djokovic does not reach the quarterfinals, he becomes number one.
Gotcha.
Now, granted, they're so close in points now that if Medvedev doesn't do it this week, it's
It
it's
might be
probably going to
tight.
happen in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. Good
But
point.
but I mean, I think Medvedev is going to be completely focused on trying to make it happen this week.
You would hope so. Yeah, you would hope so. And quietly, he's got a pretty, first second round is pretty much cake. He's got Benoit Paire,
Yep.
who is, he's special up in his head, and then the winner of Andujar and Hernandez, and this is a hard court, so
Right.
it'd be different if it were clay. I might give Andujar a little bit of a shot, but no,
Right.
this is a hard court. So I see Medvedev making some things happen for sure.
Right. Now, it's crazy because in the top half of this draw, I mean, you've got Medvedev, Nadal, and Berrettini.
Mm-hmm.
So, Nadal would have to get through Berrettini.
Right.
And then in the semis, potentially play Medvedev.
Yeah, but isn't that the Australian Open?
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, because didn't he play Berrettini in the Australian Open?
I think so.
I think he did. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Australian Open feels like it was 5 years ago for me now.
It does feel like it's a long time ago, but yeah, Nadal, I think, put them things on him. So it would be nice to see a couple rematches: Nadal Berrettini and Nadal Medvedev. I would like to see those rematches, see what happens.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now the Australian Open has come back to me. Because that's right, because Nadal from the first point was hitting that forehand.
to that backhand. He was like, all day, son. We're going to be here all day.
And I had predicted that Medvedev was going to beat Nadal in the finals, and Nadal was like, what?
Well, he almost did it. Till Nadal woke up in that third set and was like, wait a minute, I got opportunity.
Right. Now, in the bottom half of the draw, honestly, we should get a Tsitsipas Zverev semifinal.
We should. If all things are equal, um, that's what we would expect. But I tell you what, Zverev better be trying to get out that first round
Against Brooksby, I know.
because Brooksby might be like, I got tricks for you, sir. Yes, I do.
That is hilarious, man. Oh my gosh.
Oh.
So, who are you thinking pulls this one out? Who pulls this tournament out?
Who pulls this tournament out? Well, you know what, Bryce? Okay, so here's my thing. In a normal situation, I would be like, of course, Medvedev is going to win this because it's
Right.
best 2 out of 3. And even though Nadal put them things on him at the Australian Open, he did win the first 2 sets. So technically, he would win this match. But now that you've honestly brought the number one ranking thing in,
Mm-hmm.
as much as I love Medvedev, I wonder about his mental when it comes to this because he had the opportunity, I believe, last year to get number one, or maybe it was earlier this year. I can't remember, but he had an
Well, if he
opportunity
had
to get
won,
it.
if he had won the Australian,
Oh, okay, it was
so
Australian.
so
Okay,
he made it to the finals and was up 2 sets to love.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
So
I am hoping that he won't think about it too much, and he'll make things happen. I still am a little bit curious or nervous for him, but I'm gonna
mhm.
stick with him. I'm gonna stick with him. I'm gonna say that he gets revenge on Rafa because I do believe that Rafa will make it to the semis. I think it will be a
Mhm.
Medvedev Nadal semi, and like you were saying, I think it will be a Tsitsipas Zverev semi down below.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, I
Ah.
would call. I guess I've learned my lesson from the Australian Open, so I will call CC Paz to make the final. I ain't voting for Zverev no more. Mm-mm. No, never again. And Medvedev will beat CC Paz.
All right, all right. I like it. I like it. Um, you you know what though?
Who you going with? Yeah, what you think?
I'm gonna be stupid then, because
Okay,
I'm going Medvedev, but I'm gonna say Zverev is gonna make it to the finals.
okay, all right.
Um, if he
Let's
gets
see if
past
he
Brooks,
puts.
if he
Yeah,
gets
if he
past
gets past
Brooksby,
Brisbane. Exactly.
that's hilarious.
Let's see if he lets you down like he let me down. We'll see.
Oh my goodness. So, well, anyway, man, that was a lot, man. It was
We
good to
made
talk
it.
tennis with you again. It feels
Yeah,
like it's been
man.
forever.
It's been a long time, bro. It's been a very long time. It's always fun talking about these crazy people and these crazy draws. But yeah, we made it.
And Isaac, don't we have something special going on right now with the merchandise?
We do, Bryce. We have got a sale of sales going on. I mean, everything has been discounted to 15% for Black History Month. Yes, don't trip, even though we should be celebrating Black History Year. Let's be
Right.
clear, folks. Every day is Black History Day. But with that said, we got a little something, something going on with the merchandise. There's great pricing out there, you guys. So check us out, get your merch. It's the best time to do it. Well, it's any time is a good time to wear Brothers on Tennis gear. Just ask some of our folks that have bought it. Come on.
Right, exactly.
So yes, my man. Yes, we've got the merch. Let's support the brand, folks. Get out there and get you some articles.
And because we got Indian Wells coming up, and like we said, don't be running up on us.
Don't do it.
And your Nike sweatshirt, or
Uh-huh.
your concert T-shirt, or
Right. You listen.
we won't feel the
There.
love.
We got a little tote bag because everybody can take a little tote bag. We got a
Right.
little, got some hats. I mean, we got the merch for you, so there are no excuses. Go and get you some merch.
Exactly. And then I want to remind you that we still have our Spotlight series going on with Maxie Duncan.
Yes.
Continue to go to the website. We're tracking her actual results at this point because the women's tennis season has begun. And on, I think it is Friday, March the 4th, we will be posting the next interview as in the Spotlight series, and that's going to be with her father, Gerald Duncan, and he is going to talk to us about the blueprint that he put together for Maxie as she has, been on this journey with tennis. So that if you don't know her father, he is a character for sure. So that is going to be one not to be missed.
Yes, absolutely.
So, well, Isaac, I think we have to get out of here because we have to bounce over to Instagram to do our IG live. We haven't been out there for a couple of weeks. But any final words from you?
No, sir, my man. Just yeah, this was a good one, bro. So fun to talk to this again. It felt great.
Exactly. So, hey, everyone, stay tuned with us on social media. Continue to go to the website as we're posting new content there as well. And we're going to sign off. So, on behalf of the podcast, this has been your boy Bryce.
And this is your boy Isaac.
And we are Brothers on Tennis. Everyone, have a good one.